Hey sippers, welcome to our show. While we're spilling, grab your cocktails and start sipping. Get ready to unwind with your girls.
Thank you for joining us for Cocktails and Conversations with your girls. I'm your girl, Miss Shay Marie, and these are my beautiful co-hosts.
Hey everyone, I'm Shataz.
Hey sippers, it's your girl Primp and Papa.
Hey sippers, it's your girl, Miss Jones to you.
We are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night at 8 p.m. Make sure you're following us on Facebook and Instagram at Cocktails and Conversation. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Do you feel yourself doubting your abilities, short on confidence, afraid to venture out and meet new people? And despite all of your accomplishments, do you feel like a fraud destined to be exposed? Tonight, we are discussing the insecurities that women battle and ways to overcome them. And on tonight's Sip and Spill, we are discussing Meek Mill deactivating his social media. And do you think disconnecting from social media can benefit you in real life? Remember, we want you all to chime in, so leave your comments below.
Mimosas aren't just for Sunday brunch fun. This Creamsicle mimosa has vanilla vodka, champagne, orange juice, and heavy cream. It's your favorite dessert flavor, but put into a drink. So let's try this Creamsicle drink. What do you think, Shay?
I can see where it was going.
It went there.
Yeah, that's all.
That's it?
I just taste the champagne.
Well, this was my drink of the night, and I'm really enjoying it. It tastes good. I love the sugar on top of the rim. It gives it an extra boost, and I'm loving it.
I love it. I love the sugar. It tastes just like a creamsicle ice cream. I don't even think I'm missing anything. I love this drink.
It was tasty, it really was. It does taste like a creamsicle. I think if it was shaken a little bit more, it probably would have given it that extra kick that it needs, but I like it. Overall, I like it. It's nice.
Some of us have very high standards for ourselves. You may want the highest grades, the best job, the perfect figure, the dream house, polite kids, or the perfect mate. Unfortunately, life doesn't always turn out exactly the way you want it, and because of that, it can create insecurities within ourselves. Have you ever dealt with some sort of insecurity in the past, or even now? If so, how did you overcome it, and how are you coping with it?
I think every woman has had some sort of insecurity. If she says no, I think it's a complete lie, because I think that it may not be something huge or something detrimental that's like, oh my God, I'm gonna jump off a roof. But there's something that every woman would like to change about themselves. One thing I can say is that in my stage that I'm in now, sippers, you guys know I'm preggo. So I feel so huge, and I know everyone says, oh, you're not big, but I feel so big. My feet is always so swollen. Women, the hormones is different for each woman. With me, I'm getting darker in certain areas. I don't feel like myself. I'm not wearing the nice clothes I usually wear, and I'm just so ready to get over this hump. And at the end of the day, I'm grateful because my baby is soon to be here. But that's one of the things that I know that I suffer, or I'm dealing with, and just a way of getting myself. I guess the way I can say that I'm coping with the situation is this. Getting myself, I bought a couple of clothes that I know I'm gonna wear after I have the baby. I have my waist shaper ready right when I have the baby to put it on the same day. So little things like that, but I think we all go through our little you know, our little moment, but that would be mine.
Well, an insecurity that I dealt with in the past is when I was a preteen and teenagers, people would always tease me about my lips. And they used to make, like, say horrible things to me about my lips, how big they were, you know, and I felt so insecure for years, like going through high school about my lips. And it was so bad that, like, I would always tuck my lip in like this. And it's still a habit now because I've done it so long that sometimes I do it now and don't even realize that I'm doing it. I even catch myself on the show doing it. But I'm confident about my lips now. And it's like after high school, lips started to be the thing. Like, people are getting lip fillers. People are complimenting me about my lips. I'm like, what happened to all of this when I was in middle school and high school? Now you guys want to give me these compliments and say my lips are beautiful and full? But that was a big insecurity that I dealt with, and I definitely overcame it when women started to get lip fillers and people started to shed light on Kylie Jenner's lips and her lip fillers. And that, you know, then black women, you know, people started embracing black women features and stuff like that. So I think that's something I dealt with. You know, I'm very confident now. I love my lips. You know, I get a lot of compliments, and yeah.
One of the insecurities that I've dealt with and am still dealing with, I would say, is growing up, you know, I would always be the kid to myself. So when I was a little girl, it would just be me in my world playing with my Barbie dolls. And I had two sisters, and I never interacted with them. I just played with my dolls. And so growing up, I just always felt like, okay, what's wrong with me? I don't have like a whole big, large group of friends and different things like that. So growing up, I just used to feel so out of place, like wondering why don't I have, you know, all these friends and everything. And it wasn't until I learned about the different personality types, like you have your extroverts and you have your introverts. And it opened my eyes to let me know that I'm actually an introverted person. I'm more comfortable being alone, having my thoughts, you know, reading, doing things. Like, it just keeps my energy steady. So the reason why I say I still kind of deal with it, because I have to always like check myself and say, okay, Lachey, if you're feeling this way around a group of people, or you're feeling it's nothing wrong with you, this is your personality. Sometimes being around a group can be draining to yourself. So just, you know, I have to be aware of that, because if not, you kind of get depressed and feel like you're isolated and like you need to be doing this and doing that, when that's not who I am. So it's getting to know who you are and accepting it.
Well, you know, I could list insecurities, like a list full of them. But one thing I can point out is I don't feel like I accomplished what I wanted to. So I felt like I failed in my eyes with a lot of things. So I felt like it was a lot of things that I should have done and then I didn't do, or I stopped doing, and it kind of made me feel like I was in lack, or I was not doing as well, or I should have been farther. Especially when as you get older, I'm like, this is not where I see my life at the age of 28. I should have been here. I had this plan. I was like, 26, I'm gonna be married with kids. Yeah, no, seriously. So I just kind of mapped out my life, and it didn't work out that way. So I kind of have to stand back, like, you're not in a race. Like, age means nothing. You're still going to accomplish those things. And I felt like church kind of helped me with that in my relationship with God, knowing that you're enough. Because a lot of times you can feel like, okay, yeah, I'm probably called to do this, but I don't feel like I'm enough. I'm not that well spoken. I'm not the best at doing this. And then when you see other people that do it, they mastered it. But in due time, you will master it. Because if it's for you, it's gonna always be for you. Yeah. You just have to practice it. You just have to go for it. and don't procrastinate. And I feel like a lot of times I do procrastinate on it because I doubt myself. But then again, I'm the person that boosts myself up. So it's just, I don't know. But that was an insecurity I was dealing with. But I feel like I'm overcoming it. Well, I already overcame it because I just feel like, okay, it's not a race. Oh, you're 28, so what? There's people that are in their 50s that still haven't accomplished half the things you accomplished, that are still stuck in their ways. And one thing that I would like to say, like, God had to make me realize this. Yeah, you may not be where you want to be financially or career-wise, but you have overcome so many, like, generational things, and like having the mindset, your like heartbreak, all those things that could have kept me stagnant, and I overcame it. And I feel like that what makes me like love myself even more. I used to like look back, like I used to write journals, and I would look back at the things I used to write. I'm like, oh my God, who is this person? And I'll just thank God because if y'all knew where I was back then, you would not recognize me. And it's like emotionally, like the things that people close to me that don't even know. And I would share it to myself, of course. And it's just like, wow, I overcame a lot.
I think that in life we're our worst critics. We judge ourselves the most. So a lot of things people on the outside looking in may see, or they're thinking, they probably not even thinking those things, but because they're embedded in our heads, because we lack, the confidence in those certain areas, we allow those things to, marinate in our minds. I know for the longest, at a very young age, I knew what I was gonna do, and I honestly tackled it down. I did it. At 22, I was doing a lot of things that grown adults weren't doing, but I never, even though I accomplished what I wanted to, I still wasn't at where I wanted to be at. Like, I'm 32 right now, my mom should not be working. And that should be me taking care of my mom, telling her if she want to work, that's just an option for her. So those are the things that, on the outside looking in, somebody may look at it like, Tracy, you got this, you got this, you got this. Yeah, but there's certain things that I personally want to get under my belt that I have not done, that I'm still working on. But we have to make sure that we praise ourselves for the little things that we do too, because we have to say, you know what, I could, just like what you said, I could have been doing this, I could have been doing that, but I'm here, I've gotten this, I've gotten that. So I have to make sure to always look back and say, Tracy, don't be so hard on yourself. You've got X, Y, and Z.
That's good you pointed that out, because I remember when I finally wanted to go back to school the first time, I made up in my mind I'm going back to school. A week before tuition is due and my job paid for school out of pocket, I got fired from my job that I was at for like almost 3 years. And then it's just like, okay, well, God, what you doing? Like, I was just like, what the heck? And I got fired because my boss, which a doctor I was working for, he said I wasn't happy. He didn't really have a reason to fire me, but he just had to say something. He says, I noticed that you haven't been happy, so I think it's best that we part ways. Like it was a relationship. Like, I just, bowed out gracefully. And then I went back to school and I graduated with my AA. But I was like, how you have to sign up for graduation? I was like, no, I'm not going to sign up for graduation. And my best friend was like, listen, you need to celebrate. I'm about to cry. But you need to celebrate yourself, because even though you may think, oh, it's just the AA, like people your age already got like their masters and their bachelors. You having your AA, you need to walk the stage, because that's something you accomplished. And I just want to thank God for like just surrounding me with people who really love me, like, yes, especially my best friend. Shout out to you, Lori. I really do appreciate you, because I promise you, like with people who say they don't have friends, I feel bad for them, because sometimes you'll feel down. You need somebody to lift you up. It's going to be times you're not going to feel like praying for yourself. It's going to be times where your insecurities or what people say about you, other people say about you, will affect you. And it will cause you to have even more insecurities. And when you have a friend that sticks close to you, they could build you up when you surround yourself with people who genuinely care for you. So that motivated me. And I did walk across the stage, and it was just like I felt so good, like a fresh air. It did, I think, yeah.
Meek Mill recently posted on Twitter a statement, no social media, all real life. Disconnecting yourself from social media can be beneficial to your mental, physical, and spiritual health. Although social media allow people to have a voice, create content, and connect with people and information, it also has its downside. Social media can sometimes be misused to bully, stalk, and open doors of insecurities that you thought you didn't have until you scroll past Instagram models. Now, do you think it's important to disconnect from social media? Does disconnection put you ahead in life?
So I think it's very important that people take a break off of social media because it can be toxic and it can be draining. Every year before my birthday, I take 30 days off of social media. Every year. And sometimes in between, I'll take breaks as well. Because sometimes, it's a facade on social media. So if you're in lack or you feel insecure about certain things, it's easy for you to, I guess, for it to fuel those insecurities or make it seem like everybody's life is so great. I don't know. I just feel like it's imperative that everybody takes a break and actually focus on real life. You ever go out and people are on their phones, they're not even interacting anymore? I remember growing up when I was a kid, we would go outside, we'll actually have conversations. These kids are not gonna know how to have conversations nowadays. Even grown people don't know how to have conversations or know how to interact with other people. They'll be so quick, oh, what's your IG? How about my phone number? You don't wanna start a conversation? Why do you wanna see? And I think it's like a status thing. Like, you wanna see how much followers I have? Like, I don't understand. Why do you want my Instagram? How about my phone number? And it's weird. Like, even when you go on dates, people want to upload their picture of the food. I understand sometimes I'll do that, but that's like not on a date. No, like I want you to have my undivided attention. Relax. Social media doesn't have to know your every move. And it's annoying that people put their whole life on social media and then they wonder why people judge them or have an opinion about their life because you put everything out there. What do you expect?
I definitely think that people should disconnect from social media sometimes just to revitalize themselves, because you do need to connect with real life. And an example, I would think, because what happens is you get so caught up in comments and likes, and then now you're living your life to prove something to people who commenting. Like, and I bring that up to say about Young Miami. Is that her name? From the City Girls? Okay. I saw recently that she posted, I guess people were surprised that she had a son. So she went and posted like a video of her son's room saying, yeah, I have a son and he has his own room too. And I just, to this day, I can't make out the purpose behind
Like what she felt she had to justify or put the video up?
that, showing your son's personal space to the whole world. And now they're judging the decor of the room. Like you make too much money for the room to look the way it looks.
Oh my God.
But then, what's the point of saying? And he has his own room too. I don't know. That threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. But that's an example of you're living for people you don't know. Like they, I heard someone say, what they eat don't make me shit. So it's like, how can you put all that energy into millions of people you don't know to get up, record your son's room, post the video? Like, if you focus on real life, then you'll use that energy, and that could have been time spent with your child instead of now you're pandering to people you don't know.
I feel like social media takes a lot from what I want to do. Like, sometimes I find myself like scrolling on Instagram or Facebook, and I'm like, I have to catch myself, like, what are you doing? Like, you could be researching this. Don't you want to get here? How are you going to get there if you're constantly on Facebook or Instagram? So I'm like the queen of disconnect. Like, you'll find me on Facebook one day and I'll be gone for months, 6 months. It doesn't matter. But I really think, like, we really need to disconnect from social media. Get connected with yourself, with your goals, talk to yourself, figure out where you want to go in life, because social media is not going to get you there. And if you're constantly scrolling every day, I think you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I mean, sometimes I disconnect, I meditate, I pray, come up with new ideas, you know, try to get ahead in life, you know. Social media can be draining. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? I have to catch myself. So I think it's very important to disconnect, get in touch with reality, get in touch with life, go out, mingle, meet somebody. If you're constantly on social media, how are you gonna build the energy to go out and meet someone new, you know, especially if you want to date and stuff. So yeah, I stay off social media. I don't even entertain inboxes and all that crap. Like, I don't have time for it. Real life.
I think it's very important to disconnect off of social media, and because I believe that social media is a lot of smoky mirrors. A lot of friends, I personally have seen it. I know everyone have seen it, that you know this person isn't living this life, but according to their social media, they P Diddy. They on yachts, they eating steaks and filet mignons and shrimps and lobsters, and you know this person ain't got 2 pots to piss in. But to social media, they have become, you know, this person. And, you know, salute to this person, salute to that person who invests all that energy. But I always say, if you take the time to invest that energy in something that really makes sense, you would be a lot farther than where you're at. As far as, I do want to chime in on the Instagram models. A lot of women are under the misconception of, you know, you have to have this perfect body, or you have to have the big butt, small waist, nice breasts in order to capture and have this man. And, you know, they lose sight of it, take their last dollars, get surgeries, and surgeries don't even look good. It just to look like these people who they think are doing so great. You understand what I mean? And I knew this guy who was dating this one girl. And when he was dating her on social media, she had all these followers. She was a beautiful girl. He was telling me she didn't even have a bed to sleep on. But she out there in Miami, she with the celebrities, but she sleeping on a blow-up mattress. You understand what I mean? She was living this high life on social media, but this wasn't really her life. And it's sad because it's like, in a way, you're lying to yourself. Like, do you really think, you're this person? I don't know. They even start to believe the lies. And no, I'm serious. They do. And my advice to women in general is, don't get caught up in stuff like that, because, you know, those things aren't going to necessarily give you a man. Because some of these women doing all of those things and still ain't got no man, still ain't got no husband, still ain't got nobody who want them, and they got all millions of followers, but you still ain't got nobody who wants you. So you don't have to do those things that they're doing, or look the way that they're doing, to be able to capture the man that you actually want. I think it's very imperative to disconnect from those things. I have found myself following certain people, and I would look like, oh yeah, I gotta go get this, and I was buying all this stuff, and I had to be like, what are you doing? And slowly but surely, I started taking these people off my social media, and I started following people who were putting out positive energy and doing different speaking engagements. And I was following these coupon people, because I coupon on the side. Coupon ladies who went from not having jobs to having $1 million. This one lady I followed, who's a coupon lady, she actually was homeless once upon a time, and now she had over $1 million in her bank account. She would show, and it wasn't not to boast, but it was just to show where she has come from, and it was just based off couponing. Wow. Clipping coupons. So when you see stuff like that, it inspires you. It's like, okay, so what am I gonna do? You understand what I mean? So I think it's very necessary. It's a necessity to make sure that you catch yourself on what you're actually following on social media. You know, seek these motivational peoples who are always, you know, putting positive things out there, new networking or business ventures, or, you know, even if that's not your forte. You know, I have this one guy that I follow on social media. I think his name's Upscale Luxury something, where he puts all these big houses and he puts all these nice cars and he puts all these great quotes. And when I wake up and I see that, it empowers me to make me feel like, once I start drifting off on social media, as far as Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook, it's like, no, do you think that these people were doing that in order to get that? No, they were buckled down on something that was positive, getting energy to feed that hustle that they needed to get to that platform, not to just be on social media all day scrolling with your fingers.
Well, we would love to keep the tea spilling, but unfortunately, we're running out of time. But you can keep the conversation going by leaving us a comment below or on Facebook and Instagram at Cocktails and Conversations.
Thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on social media. See you Wednesday night at 8 p.m. for Cocktails and Conversations with your girls. Good night.